Hello, good evening and welcome to the RTD's English News. Here are coming up the headline of this 25 December 2050. The Minister of Youth inaugurates a new CDC. Malaysia launched the first Islamic Airlines.
Thanks for joining us. The Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Hassan Badool, went yesterday to Tajarrah region where he has proceeded to the inauguration of the new premises of CDC of Tajarrah, located in the proximity of the school Alwan Dawood, facing the sea. The minister was accompanied by a large delegation composed of the President of the National Assembly and the Minister for the Advancement of Women, Mrs. Hasna Barkat Dawood, and the parliamentarian. Upon his arrival, he was greeted by the prefect of the Tajarrah region, Abdul Malik Muhammad Banwaita. The minister and his delegation are rendered in the first place at the residence of the Sultan of Tajarrah, Mr. Hamad Abdul Qadir, for a courtesy visit. After which, to the welcome to its host, the leader traditional held to thank the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Gelle, for his efforts efficient policy which gives the sparks to daily life of our fellow citizens, in particular youth. The Sultan of Tajarrah offered to the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport a traditional nif, an offer nif for the reward of his commitment in favor of the youth, more particular that of Tajarrah. By following, the minister held an enlarged meeting in the presence of the authorities of the region and the officials of his department at the prefecture of Tajarrah.
On this occasion of the inauguration of the new CDC at Tajarrah, the delegation led by the Secretary of State have received a warm welcome. After the meeting with the administrative authorities and customary in the region of Tajarrah, the minister and his delegation took part in the inauguration ceremony of the new headquarters of the Tajarrah CDC. This ceremony has brought together the different national communities and several associations which have expressed their joy for the realization of this new CDC, who will be a space of youth development. After the presentation of our core animation, the Minister of Youth, Mr. Hassan Badool, has proceeded to the cutting of ribbon in the presence of the President of the Assembly and the Minister for the Advancement of Women, Mrs. Hasna Barkat. By following, the delegation visit different rooms and equipment in the presence of the authorities and officials of the CDC. The new CDC is equipped by the gym hall, game room, and swimming room and nautical equipment.
The Secretary of State for Youth and Sports has thanked the Prefect of the region, the Sultan of Tajarrah, and the notables for the warmly welcome in the White City. As we know that Tajarrah region is famous for best welcoming guests. Concerning the opening of the new center of the community development is firstly for the youth. He highlighted the importance of this center, who will serve the youth now and in the future to fight against juvenile delinquency. The Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Mr. Hassan Badool, indicate that is the main point of the head of state that put youth at the forefront of his policy. To end his speech, he informed the youth that center will be preserved from any destruction and smuggling, and this monument has the great importance for the future of the youth of this region. He added. The Minister of Youth and Sport, Hassan Badool, recalled that the sports are good for the health of the human body. At last, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport thanked all the people of Tajarrah for the warmly welcome. The project like this will be enough in the future year, he added.
Always in the margin of this day, the delegation led by the Minister of Youth has proceeded to the planting of trees within the new CDC, followed by a demonstration of young people who have done a demonstration of nautical sports such as windsurfing, which is very taken by the Tajorian people.
Now we have a new release about the event that occurred Monday, to Bordeaux. The opposition party Union for Democracy and Justice have published today the press release. In the day of 21 December 2015, an event without precedent is broadcast to Djibouti in the commune of Balbala to Bordeaux. The UDG presents its condolence to the victim and their family and wish them a good restoration. The UDG firmly denounced the violence which go against the principle of the Republic. We call on our fellow citizens to keep their calm in the interest of national unity. The dialogue remains the only and unique way to resolve any problem of a political and social. The Republic of Djibouti is one and indivisible. Signed, the acting president of the UDG, Ilyasa Ismail Gedi.
Health now. The Minister of Health, Dr. Qasim Issa Usman, has held this morning in the meeting room of the General Hospital Peltier the whole staff of the hospital who has intervened in the management of the crisis that occurred on 21 December 2015 during the demonstration. The Minister has addressed its sincere condolences to the relative and the family who have lost their loved one. The Minister of Health, Dr. Qasim Issa Usman, has recalled that through this meeting this morning he went to testify for the personal of its full satisfaction for their professionalism and their dynamism that they were able to demonstrate for the support of injured. It also gave a special mention to physician constitutive body, in particular Dr. Abdul Rauf Burhan of the National Gendarmerie and the Dr. Samat Al-Farah Hassan of the National Police, who have arranged no effort to assist their colleague in the health.
In his speech, the Minister of Health has congratulated the staff of Surfaces Stress Bureau and security agents, which is in the area which is has done a remarkable job. Finally, the Minister has said that he also thanked the security forces and the family of the injured for their understanding. To conclude, the Minister of Health, Dr. Qasim Issa Usman, has wished a good and happy year to the entire world.
As a part of the fight against malaria in this fresh period, the Association Sahel Gubed of Hayablay, in partnership with the Neighborhood Committee, to conduct awareness-raising activity and dumping of products to kill larvae of mosquito in latrine and toilets. This activity was conducted with the support of the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Communication. The products were poured into 8,000 homes in Hayablay Sector 11, and the association planned to generalize across Balbala Sector to improve the health of the population in the large suburb of Balbala. Those responsible of the Association of Gubet Sahel promised to sustain this kind of action against malaria, which is wreaking havoc in this time of freshness, and beneficiaries association thanked the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Communication for their support.
Still on the national scene, during the day of December 22, 2015, Maritime Surveillance Patrol Team of the Djiboutian Coast Guard managed to bring assistance to illegal immigrants in distress in the water of the north. Illegal migrants, in total 120 Ethiopians, Somali and Tanzanian, were crammed aboard a small galba threatened to capsize by overloading and engine failure. The assistance and intervention of the Coast Guard team have helped save the lives of these individuals, men, women, victims of smugglers who exploit cupidity, misery of these people. Illegal migrants were brought at the fishing port and were prodigal of their first aid, food and water before being nagged toward the detention center to be repatriated to their original country.
Still in the action for youth development and meet the social need to ensure the development of the national, the Al Fawza Association, winner of the Grand Chief of Prize of State under the Youth Initiative, and Savik yesterday received a donation of 1,000 books granted by the Belgian Association of Djibouti. This contribution is made to the library called Oasis of Knowledge, intended for vulnerable and disadvantaged children in the neighborhood of Arhiba to fill their gap and improve their literature knowledge. This event was intended by the representative of the association, Mr. Ahmad Mohammed Dini, and Mrs. Deqa Farah Bouh, and the president of the Al Fawza Association, Mr. Kamil Mohammed Musa, and several association and civic representative. The responsible of Abid, Mr. Ahmed Mohammed Dini, and Mrs. Deqa Farah Bouh expressed their joy by the contribution of the library, especially dedicated to the children of impoverished social origin, in command the tireless effort led by Al Fawza Association take this publication. Their contribution will not stop here and will continue to work more with the Al Fawza Association. For his part, the president of the Al Fawza Association, Mr. Mohammed Musa Kamil, did not like to thank combination with the Belgian Association of Djibouti for their valuable contribution and to welcome the principle of this diaspora in reminder in poverty, and thus the be a motor development of their country.
As the other parts of the Republic, the region of Dakhil has celebrated the feast of Mawlud al-Nabi. This ceremony was held before the county in the presence of many citizens of this region and authorities whose warden, Mr. Muhammad Sheikho. The celebration ceremony of the birth of our Prophet, peace be upon him, the Dakhil groups, all in the same spirit and fervor, was for this moment of gathering. The session was animated by Sheikh Abbas and Abdurrahman, and many verses praising the virtues of our Prophet, peace be upon him, so was taken in the hearts by all the support.
And now we have a wanted poster, a young man named Yahya Abdin, and he all is missing since known to this home, the Hayablay neighborhood. The family of Yahya Abdi and her mother Madina Ali Abrar searched missly their child this afternoon, and he was wearing a black shirt and blue pants. Any person who will cross the path of this child, please contact and request as quick as possible the number 77647554. I repeat, 77647554, all leads to the nearest policy brigade.
Now concerning the continental level, an explosion killing more than 100 people happened in the southeast Nigeria, a region of Christian community. Let's listen for more detail.
A gas tanker truck in yet an inferno at a crowded industrial gas plant in Nigeria on Thursday, killing more than 100 people lining up to refill their cooking gas cylinder in time for Christmas. The disaster took place in Niwi, a predominant Christian community in southeast Nigeria. By the time firefighters managed to put out the blaze, an Associated Press counter the charred remains of more than 100 corpses. A witness, Emeka Peters, said the fire broke out 12 a.m. when a tanker truck that had finished discharging fresh gas at the Chikesan Group gas plant left without waiting to observe the prescribed cooling time. The fire exploded like a bomb, and the whole station went up in thick black smoke amidst an explosion from cooking gas cylinders. Many people were killed, and most of them were those that had been in the station queuing all day to get their cylinder refilled. Peter said most of the corpses and the few badly injured victims were evacuated to the hospital. Many of them were buried beyond recognition, and I doubt if the family members of the dead victims would be able to identify the remains of their loved ones.
It was on the airline, first of its kind. Malaysia has launched the first Islamic airlines with a Muslim crew, reports.
The first Sharia-compliant airline launched flight on Sunday following the tenet on Islamic laws that bans alcohol, allow only halal foodstuff, and require women to cover their hair. Rayani Air first service from the capital Kuala Lumpur to Langkawi, a popular holiday destination, followed rules the company will adopt on all flights, which will see prayers recited before takeoff, a ban on in-flights alcohol, Muslim air stewardess obliged to wear the hijab, the Islamic headcuff. Janfar Rayani, air manager director, confirmed that alcohol will be banned on all flights and detailed the strict dress code. It is compulsory for our Muslim women cabin crew to wear hijab and for non-Muslim to wear a decent uniform, he said, according to local news. We will also recite dua before the departure of each flight. We have an alcohol policy and we provide food and beverage that are halal.
That was for tonight news. The program still continues in RTD, so thanks for your attention.